Hey, what's up guys? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me, and today we have a really cool review on this flashlight right here. This is the Thrunite TT20, a thing of absolute beauty. I've been testing this thing out for about 3 months now, and I'm really liking it. So today we're going to show it in action. I'm going to give you the specs, my opinion on it, and if you are a patron, stay tuned to the very end because we have a surprise. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Okay, so obviously it's still daytime, so we have some time to kill before we show the light modes. In the meantime, I want you guys to just admire this flashlight. It's gotta be easily the prettiest flashlight I have ever seen. To me, all flashlights look the same, but this just red coating just really adds something to it. It just gives it this classic Coca-Cola, Coke can look. I don't know, I really like it. Makes me wonder how come more flashlight companies don't add different colors and coatings to their lights, because you know, aesthetics are important. Now let's go ahead and talk about the technical specs. Now first things first, it's a Thrunite. It's going to be rechargeable, USB-C rechargeable, so it's going to save you in the long run of having to use batteries. I really like that. I'm something of a tree hugger where I don't like waste, so that's going to help you out. Now this is USB-C, so they are moving on up. Chris Tanner's prayers have been answered, so that's pretty cool. Now it comes with this clip that you can remove and place it this way if you wanted to put this, like, say, in your pocket. I wouldn't. I think it's too large and bulky to EDC, but that's up to you. It also comes with a small pouch as well in case you wanted to place it on your belt. It's going to be useful for that as well. As for the technical specs, the same old thing you're going to be used to with modern day flashlights. It is submersible in water for up to 2 meters, and it's going to be waterproof. So, you know, you drop this in a swimming pool, in a stream, something like that, you're fishing and you dropped it, you're going to be fine as long as it's not past about 6 or 7 feet. Also, when it comes to impact resistance, it's impact resistant about 1.5 meters. So you drop it, don't worry about it. It's going to be working just fine. Just as long as you're not hurling it off the Eiffel Tower, you'll be all right. So, you know, pretty sturdy for the outdoors and all that stuff, but it's just really pretty. Other than that, there's 2 buttons to make this flashlight function. You got this turbo button in the back, so if you need something right away to just light up, you know, you're hearing sounds in your campsite, you know, is it a bear, something like that, it's going to help you right there. Instant access to the strongest light. And then most likely we're all going to be using the switch up here in the front, and that one you can alternate between different modes, and we'll elaborate on that once the sun sets. So hang around. So time to show the different modes and functions of this light. Now, as I said earlier, you have 2 buttons. You have one up here, more for the everyday kind of use for the light, you know, just looking around your campsite, in your garage, stuff like that. And then you have the tail switch back here, and that one's more for emergencies. It goes to turbo right away, and it is some ridiculously strong stuff. So let me get the camera off the tripod so we can show it in first person mode. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and talk about the tail switch. That's going to provide you the instant access to turbo mode. Now turbo mode is 2526 lumens, and then it will drop down to 610 lumens after 150 seconds, so about 2.5 minutes. The 610 lumens, though, can last you up to 237 minutes, which is almost 4 hours. Now, some people are going to balk at the fact that that turbo mode really only lasts you 2.5 minutes, but let's be realistic. When do you need 2526 lumens to look for something or access something, you know, for more than 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes? It's more of an emergency light. I could definitely see this being used, as I said earlier, you know, if you think that there's a home intruder, or you're in camp and you're sleeping and you hear growling and, you know, commotion in your campsite, and you may be worried that a bear stumbled into your camp or something like that. Okay, so now that we talked about turbo mode, let's get a little bit more realistic. So you see the button up here, and click that on. You see that there's a blue light on it. That means that it's pretty good in charge. It's from either 100 down to 21%. Once you see that light become red, it's lower. It's 11 to 20%, and then if you see it flashing red, then it's down to 1 to 10%. So keep an eye on that. Outside of that, though, we have infinity high and infinity low settings, just like the Thrunite T1, and I love that. So basically, you get to adjust the brightness that you like. Now, obviously, keep in mind, you know, the higher you have it, the more energy is going to be eating. So be mindful of that. So hold it down. And that's as high as it goes right there. And that's pretty damn good. Now, that right there is infinity high, which goes as high as 1,468 lumens. It'll last you for about 3 minutes before dropping down to 654 lumens, which will last you 235 minutes. I mean, this itself is really good for a light, really strong. Now, I don't need it this high, realistically. So let's go ahead and press it and hold it down. And you see it's starting to dim until it clicks. There we go. So that's as low as it goes in infinity low. And that's, even this is pretty good when you're out here. You're out on a hike and it got dark on you or something like that. So this infinity low goes down to 31 lumens, which can last you up to 90 hours. Now, this is pretty good. I mean, 31 lumens is obviously not turbo mode by any means of the imagination, but it's enough to see 15, 20 feet in front of you if you're lost once again out on a hike and you got to look out for rattlesnakes and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind this at all either. And let me just show you once again from this is infinity low to turbo. But yeah, we don't need that much strength there, so let me just adjust it where I like it. I think that's pretty good right there. You don't gotta go too high. But yeah, I love the fact that you're able to adjust them, because different lights that have different modes, you know, sometimes not everyone's gonna be happy with them, you know, what their medium lumens is, what their high lumens is. So this way everyone can just choose their own. Okay, so now let's talk about Firefly mode. So you're going to press this down and hold it for about 1 second. And then you can access it like that. Now, obviously, this light is very small, very weak. It's 0.54 lumens. It's really not going to be very useful for wandering in the dark out in a field or something like that. It's something more for, like, reading notes, reading a map late at night. Maybe reaching into your glove compartment or your backpack. And right there's the Firefly mode. 0.54 lumens. It'll last you up to 64 days. You know, reading something, it's going to help you with that. You need to, you know, go all turbo to try to read notes, right? It's going to mess with your vision. I apologize if I just gave somebody a seizure there. But yeah, useful. I dig it. You know, it's going to be good to keep a low profile, and you don't want to mess with your eyes. And then from there, you can just click it off, click it back on, and you're back to your preferred setting. And then now for everybody's least favorite flashlight mode, strobe mode. Click this down 3 times. Okay guys, so once more I'm going to give you the summary on the different modes. Now, still going with the scenario that we are hiking and it just got pretty late for us, so we need to navigate back down to our vehicle. You got to be careful because there are sharp spikes and thorns out here in the desert. There's loose gravel and rocks. There's rattlesnakes. So you just got to be careful. So flashlight is going to be a godsend. So this is my preferred setting right here, right in the middle. Let's bring it down lower. I'm sorry, brighter. So infinity high, still pretty good. Still illuminates very far, very wide. I wouldn't want to be using this one a lot. So let's bring it down lower. Now say worst case scenario, this thing is low on battery. It's down to about 20%. This would not be my preferred mode right here, infinity low, which is 31 lumens. But in a pinch, it can guide me. I just got to pay attention. But it will guide me. Not too bad. All right, and then another setting, of course, is turn it off. Hold it for 1 second. This is the Firefly mode. pretty much a useless mode in the situation that we're talking about right now, so let's get out of there. And then another mode that really isn't very relevant to our situation right now, but in case you wanted to know, click this 3 times. You got the strobe. And now let's turbo mode this thing. So that's going to be bright. It's going to help illuminate far and wide. Really strong. Once again, this only lasts for about 2.5 minutes before it starts dropping down, so I wouldn't want to use this one fully for the situation, but it helps see, you know, eventually you get to see the headlights in your car. You start seeing the city. So pretty good stuff. And you just got to look around in case there's any Skinwalkers or cartel members. That's, you know, you might want to look into that too. Okay, so now for some size comparison with some of my other flashlights. Now, as you can tell, I'm a big fan of this light. I really like it. However, I do find it a little heavy, bulky, to be carrying every single day on my person. So EDC carry, I really don't see that happening. Now, I can see this being carried if you're something like a law enforcement officer, security guard, you know, because it's going to be a stronger light and it can be a lot more advantageous in case you did need to use it, you know, in a self-defense scenario. For me, though, this one is my everyday carry. The Thrunite T1, love this thing. It's also one of those where you can choose the volume, the strength of your light. You can adjust that. I love this thing. It's light. It doesn't get in the way, you know, when you have it in your jeans. But of course, compare these two. Obviously, this one's going to be much stronger. Now, when it comes to a light that I carry secondary in my haversack, and I tend to carry my haversack every day, it's going to be this one, the Thrunite TT20 V2. And what I like about this one, as you can tell, it's going to be a stronger light than my EDC version, but at the same time, you can strap this on to a headband that it comes with, and you can place that on your head so your hands are free. So it becomes a headlight, and you've seen me using this at nighttime last year, hunting bullfrogs, you know, night fishing, night hunting, whatever it is that requires your hands. If you got to switch out a tire, it's going to be useful for that. So for me, this one I don't really see for every day, at least to the average person. I can see this being used at home. Say, for example, you know, I would definitely have this somewhere next to my bed, like in my nightstand, and in the middle of the night you hear commotion, you know, and you're wondering, you know, if someone's breaking in. I would definitely want to have this, you know, right next to my pistol. So, you know, once again, it's going to be advantageous to have something stronger and bigger. I can also see this being used in your vehicle as well, like a vehicle emergency kit, and in your bug out bag. So, yeah, useful ways to use this are in those, in my opinion. And yeah, but great lights. And if you can't tell, Thrunite happens to be my favorite flashlight company. They make great lights. They're sturdy lights without being too complicated. Some other companies, in my opinion, overly complicate the settings and all that, and I don't need something like that. I just need two or three reliable modes. Okay, folks, so that is about the conclusion of this review. Now, it is a flashlight review, so there's not a lot of flexibility in how we can test it, and I do not like torture testing. But I can attest that I have been using this flashlight for 3 months. It has joined me in 3 camping trips, and it has been reliable all 3 times. And I love the color, by the way. Once again, this classic Coca-Cola can, it's just so pretty. So the only drawback that I would say about the flashlight, and it's not even a drawback, it's really personal preference. It's something too large and bulky for me to carry every day or even in my haversack. However, once again, I see this very much a welcome addition to your vehicle, to carrying your glove compartment or to have at home, or carrying your bug out bag or your pack if you're going to be out in the wilderness for an extended stay, you know, a couple weeks or something like that. Then I would definitely want something like this. That's about it, guys. Big thank you to Thrunite for sending this to me. I very much loved it. I'm very grateful for you guys reaching out to me. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Now, one last thing. If you are a Junkyard Fox patron, stay tuned, because tomorrow morning, we're going to have ourselves a giveaway. So one lucky Junkyard Fox patron will be winning this flashlight. A $70 flashlight. I tried to take care of it as much as I could these last couple months because I knew it was going to be a giveaway. So I want you guys to enjoy that. I'm very grateful. Now, in case you're thinking about joining our Patreon, guys, it really helps us out. It helps us get out here, especially for videos that YouTube does not like to monetize, like our hunting ones, and it makes a big difference. And we're going to be having a monthly giveaway from here to the end of the year, including at some point a brand new snake eater knife, my knife design. So once again, thank you so much, guys. That's about it for us. We're going to go head back to town and get something to eat. So I'll see you guys next week with another video. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.